Ready, Kim? Ready? Less Beautiful Without You by Tess Baumgartner. This place would be less beautiful without you. Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Jew, Hindu, humanist, and earth-centered too. This place would be less beautiful without you. Your heart honed by hardship, grief, illness, seeking solace and comfort here among us. This place would be less beautiful without you. Filled with joy and gratitude, seeking celebration of life's bounty. This place would be less beautiful without you, curious, inquisitive, asking questions, seeking transformations emerging from within. This place would be less beautiful without you, striving to resist a world that tells us we are so much less than we can truly be. This place would be less beautiful without each of us, born here in this morning to seek heaven's fire in each other's souls, our own flames rising to meet one another. This place would be less beautiful without you. Raise your hand if you go by you. Yay, that's right. That's everybody. So it's everybody. This place would be less beautiful without you. You bring your own uniqueness, your own peculiarities. You bring your own beauty into this place. And look around you. Look at all these beautiful people making it beautiful this morning. We are glad that you are here, no matter your life story, no matter who it is or how it is you love, we are glad that you are here this morning. We gather in this place to do the work of love, to do the questioning of wondering what it is that love calls us to be and do in the world. We do this every single week because it's a trickier question sometimes. It can be a tricky question. What does love call us to do? And so we discern together in this place as people of a religious faith of Unitarian Universalism to answer that call of love and to keep discerning. We please rise and body your spirit as we sing our opening hymn, Gather the Spirit.
History of this hour, our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy, oh, and then gather in hope, compassion, and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion, and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon
Good morning. I'm Sean Keating, and these are my kids, Julia and Paul. Today's chalice lighting words are from Eric Walker Wickstrom. Here today, in this place, and with these people, may we listen so that we can hear. May we hear so that we can feel. May we feel so that we can know. And may we know so that we can change ourselves and this world. May this chalice we light our way.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the
Morning. My name is Amy Brock, and I'm the Director of Religious Exploration for Children and Youth, and it is time for all ages. So if you are young or young at heart, I invite you to find your way to the rug for our exploration this morning. And this month we're exploring inclusion, and we're learning about how we include each other here and how we're all different. So while our friends are coming, I invite you to think about what your favorite thing to draw is, and then we'll talk about it together. What is your favorite thing to draw? I know we have some artists here on the rug. What is one of your favorite things to draw? Pikachu!
Nice.
Very cool. What else do we like to draw? I know some of us like to draw trees.
I like to draw squiggles.
Squiggles. Yeah. Flowers. Hearts.
Hearts.
Peace signs. We could draw all kinds of things. What's your favorite thing to draw? Rainbows.
We like rainbows around here.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I like to draw people, but sometimes I find it kind of hard to draw people because everybody's different. And it can be really tricky to get it right. I have a box of crayons here. What do you notice about my box of crayons?
Human.
It's got people on it. It does. It has people on it. Why does it have people on it?
Because they're human colors.
Oh, they're human colors.
Cool.
Very cool. Why do you think that there are human colors in this box?
Because some people are brown.
Because some people are brown.
They like brown skin.
Some people have brown skin. Some people, does everybody have brown skin?
No.
No.
I don't.
No? What would you call your skin?
Well, Yeah, if you want to be technical about it, it's not really white, is it now? It's kind of like a pinky, well, I almost said fleshy, but that's fleshy for me, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be
No.
flesh colored for somebody else.
Yeah.
So I would call it like a pinky kind of whitish beige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy, is it? You know, someone else had that same conundrum one day too. Her name was Belen, and she was 9 years old, and her friend asked her to hand her the flesh-colored crayon, and she looked at all the crayons in the basket, and she thought that she was probably talking about the peach one, but when she handed it to her, she realized that her own skin wasn't peach. It was a different color, not quite that color. So Belen did something really cool. She decided that she would talk to some people about making crayons that match different kinds of skin. And so that's how we came up with multicultural colors of the world, it says, crayons with people of different colors. Yeah. And I was looking at our crayons earlier today, and I noticed that they had some different names on them. Like this one is called Deep Golden. Mm-hmm. And this one is called Light Medium Almond.
Light, medium, that's better than I did. Light, medium.
And this one is called Medium Deep Golden. Let's see, one more. And this one is called Extra Deep Almond.
Okay.
So it looks like we have different shades of almond and golden here with us.
Cool.
If you were going to name your skin, what would you call it? You call it rainbow? That would be cool. You could call it rainbow. Call it beige.
Beige.
I would imagine that all of our skin is all a little different, and so we could probably each call it something different. And it would still be skin color. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the world is a better place when we can include everyone in it. And if we're ever thinking about what to do and we don't know what to do, thinking about how to include everyone is probably a good place to start.
Good place to start.
Yeah. We're going to explore how we can include others more in RE today, but before we go, we need to say the Children's Covenant. In this place, I am kind. In this place, I am loving. In this place, I am a friend to the earth and all animals and people. In this place, I am loved.
Please rise and bow to your spirit.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and as far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and thus far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
I'm the, let's get the words together in my mouth. I'm Chayla Sloper. I'm the Congregational Life Facilitator. What's that?
Start there.
Yes, start there. What I know. Congregational Life Facilitator, and I have today's announcements, and always a special welcome to those who are on Zoom. And we have a virtual visitor form that you can fill out on Zoom and sign up for our communications if you'd like. And for those that are with us for maybe the first or second time here as well, we just encourage you to sign up for our communications. We call our weekly email the ACE, the All Congregation email. So there's a lot going on this week. If you got your skyline, be sure to look at the things that might appeal to you. I want to bring special attention to a few things this week. Firstly, on Thursday night, the art team, our art resources team, is going to have a reception for the artists of their new show, and everybody's invited to come, and the artists will be talking at about 6:30. Refreshments will be served, but that's a way to support them, supporting our exposure to beautiful art. Their installations change every few months. So that's this Thursday night at 6. The artists will start talking at 6:30. The theme of this installation is All We Need Is Love. Business Connections is a new business networking group that meets every Friday at 9 a.m. And this Friday, on Valentine's Day, you're invited to show some love and think about trusts and estates. There's going to be an attorney from one of our local law firms, and so that's at 9 a.m. If you would sign up at the kiosk so that they'll know how many to anticipate, but you get extra credit for coming at 9 in the morning. And then I want to bring your attention to Saturday, February 22nd. The board is going to be hosting a 5-year strategic planning kind of workshop. Like, what is happening within the life of the congregation, and how can we plot out a trajectory for the next 5 years. Now, Heather McNeil, who is the board president, would like your RSVP. You could either email her. Her email address is in the skyline, and then there's also a sign-up at the kiosk. So there'll be some food served, and so they want to know how many to set up for. So also a very important thing is that child care will be available. And so if you need child care, then be sure to let Heather know that as well. Gen XYZ has their meeting this Thursday night as well. Shauna Edwards is going to consult the oracles with you and just see what's happening in your lives. But Gen XYZ, for those born, Gen X, you know. Gen Y, Gen Z, you got it. Okay, so with that, let me see. Yeah, I'll also just bring your attention, lastly, to not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. Reverend Scott realizes that there are sort of the swells of emotion and concern, a little bit of anxiety maybe, and so there'll be a gathering, just sort of an informal gathering where we can get together and say what's on our hearts and minds, and that'll be on Tuesday, February 18th, and we're calling it Acceptance, Courage, and Wisdom, because the Serenity Prayer teaches us about there's some things we can do, some things that we can't do, and it takes some wisdom to know the difference. Okay with that? Blessings on your day. Oh, and then I'll see everybody who's signed up for the membership class in Linus Pauling after. So we'll see you right after service.
Hello, UUFCO! Get ready to give me your money!
Whoa. Are you guys giving him money? Don't give him money. No. You don't. It's a pledge campaign.
It's a pledge campaign.
You're pledging to give your money to UUFCO during the fiscal year of July 2025 to June 2026.
Okay, let me try it again. Hello, UUFCO! It's time to give UUFCO your pledges!
That's right! And it's time to think about all that means, you know. What are you going to do? How are you going to give us your pledge cards, all of that?
Think?
Yeah. You've got to think through what this means for you.
Like about the future?
Yeah, because Leora, I know thinking's hard for you, love, but Leora doesn't know what we plan on, even if you've pledged in the past, doesn't know what we plan on pledging in the future. Oh, you're struggling with this one. Let me take over. To talk about why UUFCO is so great and important, we have our good friend Kate Keating here to give you guys a little speech. Thank you guys all so much, and see us at the table. Table's a hard word.
See you at the table.
See you at the table.
Good morning. My name is Kate Keating, and I have a partner, Sean, and 2 kids who you just met, or you just saw. Julia is 11, and Paul is 8. Over the years, Sean and I have commented to one another about how much we wish we were church-going people. We were nearly envious of the churchgoers who had a natural rhythm built into their weeks, usually attending a service on Sundays. Not to mention the community. Oh, the community. A group of people with similar values all gathered in one place every single week. It sounded dreamy, but the whole church thing just never made sense to us. Aspects of organized religion were downright unappealing to us. We weren't called to religion, so we felt left out of the whole enterprise. 3 years ago, we moved to Bend. After we lived here for a couple of months, Sean came home at the end of a work day and said, "I think I might have found a church for us." I was skeptical, but intrigued. He had attended a work meeting in this building, and in the middle of our kitchen regaled me with stories about the natural wood interior, the social justice-focused pamphlets, and the pride flag flying outside. So we checked it out. We came to service the next Sunday. We were, of course, greeted by Chayla. You know how it goes. And Scott astonished us with his folksy yet intellectual way of preaching. I think he read a Mary Oliver poem. He probably mentioned Buddhism. I was spellbound. Since then, our understanding of what UU represents has only drawn us in farther. My family has become regulars at Family Kitchen, serving food to the diners, as I've learned they're called. We've grown accustomed to Amy's welcoming and accepting way with our children. We've become members. As those of you who've been part of this congregation for a long time know, Sean and I have only scratched the surface. There are so many other ways to deepen our relationship with this community of service-oriented humans, of fun and joyful humans. These days, our weeks are filled with family life, but I know that waiting for us are countless ways to entangle ourselves more profoundly with this place and to expand the love that we receive and give by being connected with this organization. For me, modern life has lost too much of the sacred, too much of anything that isn't focused on capitalism or productivity or the chasing of dopamine. Sundays at UU are an antidote to all of that. Throughout my weeks, I care for my children, I go to work, I exercise, I read the news, but I forget to nourish my soul. This place does that for me. It reminds me to be in touch with that which is ineffable and transcendent. I didn't know how badly my human heart needed this place, but now I can't imagine my life without it. Thanks.
Thank you, Kate. Now I have to be folksy and intellectual? Oh no. Well, I'll just use that as a transition into our offering. And Debbie's going to play a song by Jelly Roll for us. This is our pledge campaign month where we do our budgeting for the coming year, but we take an offering each week also to support the work of this congregation. It's a practice of practicing generosity. And so we'll take our morning offering.
Okay, so Scott's folksy intellectual message this morning is about what to do when we don't know what to do. And so this song came to mind. It's I Am Not Okay, and the mantra fits the craziness of the last month or so. I'm not okay, but it's all going to be all right. I'm not okay. I'm barely getting by. I'm losing track of days and losing sleep at night. I am not okay. I'm hanging on a thread. And if I say I'm fine, I know I've learned to hide it well. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows, I know, when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be all right. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be all right. I woke up today, I almost stayed in bed, had the devil on my back, and voices in my head. Some days it all ain't bad, some days it all gets worse. Some days I swear I'm better off laying in that dirt. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows, I know, when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be all right. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be all right, gonna be all right, gonna be all right. I know one day we'll see the other side. The pain will wash away in a holy water tide, and we're all gonna be all right. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. I know, when it's all said and done, I'm not okay, but it's all gonna be all right. It's not okay, but we're all gonna be all right. It's not okay, but it's all gonna be all right.
Thank you, Debbie. This congregation shares life. We share our joys, we share our sorrows, we share our gratitudes with one another. We have these forms on our kiosk that you can fill out, and we can read them publicly. We have two today, but if there's a joy or a sorrow in your heart that you'd like to light a candle for, please feel free to do so. Those are just on the sides of our congregation. Well, Susie Hickman is so grateful for our pup, Alibaba, who grounds us, soothes us, and reminds us, no matter what, to play. Thank you, Alibaba. And Judy Hurlbert shares a double whammy of sad and gratitude this week. My older sister in New York was hospitalized and had surgery for an unfound jaw infection that got serious very quickly. My longest, dearest Alaskan friend, Penny, is entering hospice care after dealing with colon and liver cancer for 3.5 years. They both feel so far away, and I feel so grateful to have access to good medical care and good support systems, and a feeling of joy for these nurturing, gorgeous, sunny, and cold winter days we are having. With this range of human emotions within a few short days, I think I qualify to check the certify I am not a robot box. Well, I invite us to take a deep breath. And I'll offer these words from the Reverend Pam Rumancic. It's a meditation on two hands, so we're just going to keep thinking about our hands today. And I invite you to just look at your hands. I'll share these words from Pam, and we'll follow it with some shared silence and meditation. Hold up your hands and really look at them.
Excuse me, can you be
Are they
quiet for a second?
smooth or full of lines and creases?
This is
Are they rough or polished and soft? Are they strong or have the glory days of their power passed away? Look closely. Remember, what have these two hands done? Have they held another hand for balance, either to give or receive? Have they cradled babies, painted rooms, cooked good food to share? Have they written postcards or held up protest signs? Have they cut hair, painted a picture, arranged flowers, clapped out a rhythm? Have they shoveled a neighbor's walk or planted seeds in a garden? Have they comforted a friend or encouraged a stranger? They say we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we might listen more than we speak. We also have 2 hands and 1 heart, perhaps to remember the unity of creation of which we are all a part, even as we give and receive with generosity and gratitude. These 2 hands bless the world, offering what is needed in this particular moment. Just imagine what these 2 hands can do. Let's just have them do that again, right? What? Precious Lord, take my hand, an old gospel song. These hands, they are powerful. Hands can do all kinds of things. What's one of the most fun things hands can do? What if we just needed some fun today? What is something fun that hands can do? What, holding a baby, okay. What's that? No, don't hold the baby like this. No. How about juggling? Juggling? Juggling would be a good balm for the soul this morning. Well, it just so happens that we have a juggler in the house. Simon's friend Calvin has a YouTube channel if you ever want to see more juggling from Calvin. But I've invited Calvin to come here this morning and give us a small juggling display and to talk to us a little bit about juggling. So, Calvin, let's see it happen.
Hi, my name's Calvin.
Hi, Calvin.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. And I can juggle. So I learned to juggle in like 3rd or 4th grade. I kind of just taught myself, watched some YouTube videos on how to do it. And then just recently I've been getting better. Over COVID, I had some extra time. I learned to do 4 balls. And then this past year, I've learned to do 5 balls. But yeah, and then this past year also, I started a YouTube channel about juggling. And I've just done a lot of fun things with it. This last spring, I went to a roundabout at Newport Market, and I juggled. I had a big sign that said, "Honk if you like juggling." And so I juggled there for like half an hour or something, and I think about 90 people honked at me. So that's on my YouTube channel. Another thing I did is this summer there were lots of farmers markets, and I would go there and I would juggle with a tip jar, and I would juggle for tips. And I put that on my YouTube channel too. And then also another thing, starting January 1st, my New Year's resolution was to be able to juggle 5 balls for a full minute. And so every day I would juggle, I'd practice for like 15 minutes and see how long my best run was. And so the first day I got 19 seconds, and then I just kept on going. And just this last week I accomplished that, and I got a full minute on. And yeah, that was day 38 of juggling 5 balls every day till I could juggle for 1 minute. But yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
Kevin, what is the hardest part about juggling?
Probably just being able to like concentrate on everything. You can't just focus on one ball. You've got to like be, using your peripheral vision and like see all of it all at once and just keeping your focus, probably.
Fantastic. When you first began juggling, could you start with one ball, 2 balls?
So yeah, you got to start. You got to be able to throw 1 ball back and forth, and you just got to get really good at that and keep it consistent. You can't have it going everywhere. You got to keep it all, keep it consistent, and then you just keep adding on to that, and then you keep going.
Fantastic. Can we have a round of applause for? Now, good people, why did we invite a juggler here? You can have a seat to go.
Thank you.
So sometimes I preach the sermon, and sometimes we do collective work, metaphoraging together. So why would we have a juggler here on this morning? And what did we just learn from Calvin that we can use that might help us in the coming days? Start small. Soft focus. Persistence, yeah. What's that? Yeah, balls that don't bounce away are helpful. What else? Keep your eye on the big picture. Playfulness is helpful. Joy. Repetition. Yeah, it takes repetition sometimes to learn things. Patience. Don't be distracted. Yeah, you got to focus. Practice in the process? Yeah, great. Set a goal. Share your skills with others. What's that? Believe in yourself. Why do I bother preaching ever? This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Well, last week we had a nice service where we sang a lot and we created an energy and a space for one another and with one another. And at some point last week I said, I'm not going to use as many words. I'll talk about it next week. Dang it. It's next week. And I said I was going to talk about it. It being what's happening in the world. When the jagged edges of too many divisive, hateful words cause nerves to fray, seek and heed the silent spaciousness calling from between the in-breath and the out-breath. These words also by Pam Rumancic, a colleague and dear friend. When the jagged edges of too many divisive, hateful words cause nerves to fray, seek and heed the silent spaciousness calling from between the in-breath and the out-breath. The author, activist, and pastor John Palovich says, we can't be a people of working empathy and be unaffected by the cruelty we are witnessing and experiencing right now. And so we must be mindful of two wounds, the wounds of the world and the wounds we sustain attending to the wounds of the world. And so it would seem that one of our first spiritual activities would be in acceptance. Acceptance. This is the way the world is unfolding in this moment. Many of us feel lost, unmoored, like the world is out of control. And it might just be a little bit out of control. But here's the thing. It was never in control to begin with. The illusion of control is inherent in some of the most destructive ideas for our souls. The belief that if we just do everything right, if we get enough money and power, if we just get everything done, if the lists can be all ticked off, somehow we can be masters of our own fate. But life might be showing us the error in this thinking right now. We are tiny specks in an infinite universe, and perhaps just maybe we don't know as much as we think we do. And maybe we're not quite as powerful as we'd like to believe. Here in the West, there is this attitude of onward and upward forever, which can obscure the reality of life sometimes. So maybe this is a come to Jesus or come to Allah or come to Buddha moment. Maybe this is a moment to figure out what is mine, what is not mine, and how each of us might live in right relationship in a world that is wild and unpredictable. I have to give up those illusions and beliefs that are easy to sustain when life is going, for the most part, my way. One of those out-of-the-way thoughts is that I can only handle what is realistic to deal with, what is in any given moment. The only thing I really have control, true control over, is myself. So, here is blasphemy in UU circles. Maybe our job isn't to fix the world. Maybe it's all messier than we think. Maybe, just maybe, we're not called to fix the world, but to love the world. We're the love people, right? And so we use our love and our limited control to do what we can. For example, we have a diversity, equity, and inclusion group here, and diversity, equity, and inclusion has been in the news lately. An HR office reported recently what diversity, equity, inclusion is. Diversity, equity, inclusion is something like ramps and sidewalk curbs. It's subtitles and captions on a TV show. It's having family restrooms. It's pay equity and transparency. It's parental leave. It's various food options. It's flexible work arrangements. It's the size of inclusive chairs and beds in medical facilities. It's materials in different languages. All of these things are nods towards inclusion. And here's some of what diversity, equity, and inclusion is not. Hiring an underqualified person for a job just because they're the right person of color. Hiring based on race just to meet a diversity goal, because this is illegal, by the way. You can't do that. And diversity, equity, inclusion is not just a new fad or a buzzword, but it's been going on for a long, long time. And so we talk about being an inclusive congregation. In fact, we have a bench right up front that says, "All are welcome here." And someone asked me after our church service last week if someone who supports the current administration would feel welcome here. And I think this is a reasonable question. I am sometimes tempted to put an asterisk on our bench out front. All are welcome here with an asterisk, and then underneath, but not all behaviors or beliefs are necessarily welcome here. We went through a big process as a faith tradition last year to reevaluate and to reclaim what it is that we hold most dear, our values. And so what we came up with were interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. These are the things that we as Unitarian Universalists say that matters to us. And so I actually don't care who you voted for. Our work is to challenge policies, particularly current ones on immigration and race and climate change, wherever we see things happening that are not in line with our values. When we hear language and rhetoric that is hateful and polarizing, when we hear language that is us versus them, that is encouraging hostility towards immigrants and people of color and marginalized groups and transgender and queer people, our UU values of respect and inclusivity demand that we work to bridge these divides, not deepen them. And so, as a people of faith, we are called to speak out wherever we see these things, no matter who the president is. We're called to speak out against injustice and divisiveness. We're called to champion a world that is compassionate and equitable and just. We're called to do this hard work together over a large span of time. And so we need one another during this span of time in front of us. Kate, I did not know that Mary Oliver was so important to you, but I have a Mary Oliver poem right here. And as Katie said this morning, this is Mary Oliver's
likely most popular poem, Wild Geese. So you may have heard it before, but you might not have heard it before. And I have found this poem speaks to me differently over time. Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Sometimes I like to imagine my place in the family of things as that place in that V formation of those wild geese, those loud wild geese, each bird flying slightly above the one in front. At times, sometimes, I might be one of those birds out in front, strong and rested. At other times, I might be one of those birds in the back of the V, exhausted and uncertain of the way. What I take great solace in, though, is having the flock, the wild geese, the V formation. This place, this flock, my family, and anyone who shares in the idea of humanity, of shared humanity. So it goes, as Kurt Vonnegut said. Gorgeous and staggering and forgiving, these birds offer themselves up to us as an example of what community can look like. And so I don't know where it is you find yourself in these days. Are you gasping for air? Are you feeling strong and in the lead? These geese, this cycle of resting and leading, is something that we can look to. Not every day is going to be a good day, but not every day is going to be a bad day either. And so we take our nods from these geese about how it is they work in unison with one another. Did you know that while the choir was singing that anthem, they were breathing the whole time? But did you hear anyone take a breath? No. Miraculous. Amazing. But you were breathing, correct? Okay, all right. So, staggered breathing, practiced breathing, breathing in the right place at the right time. Not everyone taking a breath together going, because we would have heard that. And so, let's just try this then. Debbie, will you give us a nice full chord on the piano? And you just pick any note that you would like to pick one of these, pick something, pick your own note. You don't have to sing well. Remember, you don't have to. Mary Oliver just told us you don't have to be good. You don't have to be good. But we're going to practice singing. And when you feel the need to take a breath, just take a breath and begin singing again. Okay, I think we're going to need our notes again. Yep. Pick a note, pick any note, and we're just going to sing like this and breathe when you need to breathe. Don't forget to breathe, though it is important. And that, dear people, is how we will manage. It is how we will go forward. It is how we will support one another, making beautiful music together, breathing, not forgetting to breathe, and singing and supporting. May it be so, this day and every day.
Please rise, embody your spirit. Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to love.
We invite you to stay for coffee hour or reach out to somebody that you've not met yet. Just for 5 minutes, meet someone new today. We also invite you at 2 o'clock on any given day to take 2 breaths to remind yourself to breathe and to slow down. And this community will be breathing with you at 2 o'clock. So let's say our covenant, the promise that we make to one another, to ground each other, and to journey into the path of love. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our benediction today is a visual benediction. And remember, we metaphorged this, so it's not just juggling anymore. It's life lessons. Go in peace, go for justice, and go with love.